Swinging a high drive into center field. It's at the wall. It is gone! Casas does it again. It's gone! It's into the bullpen! This game is tied!
He swings and rips one to center field. It's high, it's deep, it's back, it's gone! Sale winds, he fires. Swing and a miss, strike three, it's over! The Red Sox have won the World Championship!
Welcome back to Play Tessie. It is episode 73, the Mike Shawarren episode. We're really having to dig deep for these. Here with Sammy and Pat, it's Gordo here. If you're listening on drop day, is May 17th. This is the official podcast of sweet Cancun, also known as the official Red Sox podcast of WEI. Before we get going, hit that subscribe button, whether you're listening on the Odyssey app, Apple, or Spotify. Hit that subscribe button, rate us 5 stars, leave a comment, tell us how much you despise Max Strus. I hate that guy. Go check us out on YouTube. We're on the WEI channel. Thumbs up there, thumbs up on YouTube. Also, comment your hatred of Max Strus there. Follow us on the socials at PlayTessie on both Twitter and Instagram, or as Sammy likes to call it, X. Doing it on X.
Yeah, that's what it's called now.
They did change the name at some point. They did do that.
They did.
Pat's back.
I'm back.
How is Pat? How is your bender, buddy?
It was good. Last 2 weeks or so, I've been celebrating graduating. Actually graduated on Sunday. Friday night, got my white coat. Had a couple of beverages, adult beverages, not sodas. Sang some karaoke, sang some Creed. Walked the stage and got my diploma on Sunday. Dr. Brown.
Dr. Brown, you might be one of the bigger karaoke guys. I've never even been to karaoke with you. Oh my God, look at the side of that hat. Dr. Brown.
Yep.
That has
I'm
a
a
ring
huge
to
karaoke
it.
guy.
Okay, we have to do a PT karaoke night. We got to wait, what did Chris Murphy say about karaoke?
I believe I'm paraphrasing here. I think he said he'd rather die. But
Okay.
I got him. I'll get him. Me and him can sing a duet. I got him.
Yeah. Do a Nickelback duet. It doesn't have to be a duet. You can just sing it together. So if he forgets the words or something, it doesn't matter because you're just drowning him out.
Exactly. What's the Elton John duet?
Oh God! Don't go breaking my heart.
Yes, we'll do that one.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Well, there's a lot of pressure there because then you got to be on time.
Yeah.
But it's a legitimate karaoke duet right there.
That's a duet right there. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're stepping up to the plate, you're shooting for a home run.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess how many opportunities are you and Chris Murphy going to get to sing karaoke together?
Or if he wants to do a solo mission, he could just sing Tequila.
Oh well, that one doesn't miss, and it's easy.
There you go. Yeah.
Did you just do one night of karaoke on your bender, or were there multiple?
No, shockingly, actually, it was only one night of karaoke. Played some golf, did a little karaoke, sang a little song, danced a little dance.
And now you're back in Massachusetts.
Yeah,
Bender.
now I'm full-time back in Massachusetts.
What constitutes a bender? Like, is it 2 or more days of drinking nonstop?
I would say more than a weekend. So I'd say over 2.
So 3.
I think as of stopping yesterday, I think it was 8 of the last 11 days.
So what? Oh, hold on. What day did you move back?
So I graduated Sunday, and then I moved back Monday afternoon.
Okay, so basically, yeah, the Red Sox have been bad since you got back, pretty much.
But the Bruins have been good.
It's true. The Bruins and Celtics
have been good.
But do you realistically have any impact on those teams? You could have an impact on the Red Sox. Your presence.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see what the record's like once I actually get to Fenway.
Yeah, that's true. We
I'll try
gotta
not to
not
be
only get
offensive.
you. Yeah, okay, that's true. I went tonight and they lost, but I'm 6-4 on the year through 10 games. So I think 6-4 is pretty good, but we'll see
Yeah.
what happens when Pat Brown gets in the plane. We gotta get Pat Brown on the field. That's the next job. But should we? I mean, goddamn, I don't. Do we? I mean, we'll get into the series. We'll get into the series.
Gonna have to talk about it eventually.
I'm trying to look at some of these other topics.
It is a Red Sox podcast after all.
It is a Red Sox podcast.
We should probably talk about the Red Sox.
Okay.
But the Celtics are playing really well right now.
Yes. Great observation. And DeBrusque and Hampus Lindholm were there. We'd love to see Boston at Boston Sports.
Oh, yeah. And what's his name? Drake May was out.
The Patriots, their schedule came out. Great little video on that.
Yeah, lots happening.
Sammy got violated by the Patriots.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's my enough said.
Okay, yeah. We'll save it for the enough said because that had me going. I was so excited when I saw that. But we'll save it. Okay, I mean, first game, this game kind of to shit fast and it kind of got back on the rails. But if you remember, first inning was when Cedon Rafaela almost made like catch of his life, laying out in the outfield, and it hits off his glove. Like you feel bad because it leads to 3 runs. But at the same time, it's like you can't expect him to make that catch by any means. I think a 5% catch probability, and he legitimately thinks he should have made the catch. But yeah, O'Neill ended up hitting the 3-run homer off Zach Eflin to tie the game. But I thought the story of this game was Greg Weisser in the 8th. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to talk about before that, but 4-3 game. Greg Weisser comes in the 8th. How many pitches do you think Greg Weisser threw in the 8th?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. How many? I kind of blanked after that in a rage.
He threw 43 pitches.
Right.
Sorry, not in the 8th. Not in the 8th. He threw the 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
Two innings.
Yeah. I was a little confused with the bullpen management this series. I have a few notes on that, but let's
talk about it because honestly, like if you're listening to this podcast, you watch the games. You know, it's like we can get into these discussions. Like the bullpen management, I think, is such a story now because the Red Sox before, like with the Braves series, you had a day off Monday, you had a day off Thursday. You could be pretty aggressive with your bullpen management, but now in this series, it was we're gonna push Weisser in the first game. And I believe Anderson got in after that. And so that was all that was used. But then in game 2, I mean, let me try to think here. I'm pretty sure it went Slayton for 2, Martin, Jansen, Kelly for 2, Bernardino. And that's like when you factor in the fact that Greg Weisser threw 43 pitches in the first game. And then all of those guys went in the second game. Now that hamstrings you for the third game and kind of the fourth game. It's like that second game, even though they won it and it was exciting, it was miraculous, having games like that without off days really kills you.
Yeah, it's weird. And I want to back up a teeny bit. There's a few weird bullpen things I noticed from the first 2 games. One, Weisser, which we just touched on. Zach Kelly's usage is really weird. Sometimes he's in high leverage spots. Sometimes they give him like, how many games off did he have? This wasn't in the Tampa series. It was the Washington series. When he got in there, it was like 5 days between outings. And now he's pitching 3 times in 4 days. So I just don't get the usage, not the amount of innings he pitches. It's the days that he's used on. It's a little strange. And then the strangest one is Kenley. Kenley has pitched 5 times in the last 7 days. And we'll get to the later games in the series. But that's just really strange. And I think real quick off the top of my head, a way that you could get around that, be less strict about putting him in when it's a save opportunity, if it's on a back-to-back night. Like the guy's 38 years old. Ideally, you get him in there when it's a save opportunity. but I think maybe be a little less strict on that. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys on this because I agree, Sammy. Not good to use Kenley 5 out of 7. It was pushing to use him 3 in a row, and it worked. But I think you're now starting to see, at least with the 4th game, maybe some of the negative effects of that. But in terms of the bullpen rankings here, the Red Sox have a good bullpen. They're asking a lot of them because they've been in a lot of tight games because the starters in general have not let up many runs and the offense in general hasn't scored many runs. So you're in a lot of close games. Where does Kenley Jansen rank? You don't have to give me an exact ranking, but like upper third, middle third, bottom third. Like where does he rank in your trust rankings for this bullpen? And understanding for the listener that we are talking literally after he just gave up 2 runs. So if there are overreactions in this, like apologies in advance, but be honest.
I mean, pretty high. He's still Kenley. Not the highest he's ever been, but like, I guess here, I'll flip the question on you. Who do you trust more than him? I'll go Slayton. Anyone else
Bernardino.
you can? Oh, Bernardino. Yeah. Slayton, Bernardino.
Martin.
Oh, really? Right now?
Really?
He gives up hard contact.
Martin has had like 2 blow-up outings, but outside, I'll pull up his game
Martin
logs.
has had 3 near-death experiences this year.
That's so, yeah. Can we talk about this for a second?
Well, yeah. Well, hold on. Let's keep going with our rankings, then we'll get to Martin. But like,
I think Slayton and Bernardino are absolute locks there.
yeah. And also, by the way, keep in mind, Kenley's numbers, they're good. And that's even with the weird start to the season he had. So I don't know. I mean, today he wasn't great, but it wasn't the stuff that was the problem. It was his command. Not like, the like command control debate. Like he was still throwing the fastball on the outside part of the plate, but not the outside like he was trying to get it. And that's the big hit that he gave up. That was the outside fastball, but it caught a little too much of the plate, but he's still throwing like mid-90s. So it's not that I'm worried about his performance. I just think 38 years old, had back issues less than a month ago. I would tone it down a teeny bit and give Slayton a save opportunity here or there. Maybe Bernie gets a save opportunity. 2 lefties coming up in the 9th inning. Why not? He gets righties too.
I could not give less of a shit about who Bernie faces left or right. Like, he just gets it done every single time, and he throws so much. He, like, every day Bernie is a thing. This guy is always in. He's often asked to go more than an inning, and yet his ERA is below half a run. Yeah, I have Bernie, I have Slayton, I have Martin. The stats on Martin, by the way, he has gone scoreless in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 out of his last 11 outings have been scoreless, and he's allowed 1 hit, 2, 3. 1 hit total in his last 6 outings. He has walked 1 batter in his last 11 outings. So Martin's ahead of him for me. And then you get into, I know Weissert, when asked to do what Weissert should be asked to do, because they've asked Weissert to do a lot. They've asked him to do a lot of these multi-inning things. To me, he does not feel like a multi-inning guy. I'm okay trying to make him into the fireman, but he's got to be like the one and done kind of guy. Feels like Bernardino and Kelly, when he has his command, can be those multi-inning guys. But I don't think that Weissert is that.
Well, why? The Red Sox clearly think he is. He threw 43 pitches the other night. If he can,
it didn't work.
Yeah, but they think he can do it. Why would we shut the door on it?
I'm really pushing the boundaries with Weissert. Like, they're asking a ton of Weissert, and every now and then you get 1, 2 earned runs in less than 2 innings, whatever. He's still a sub-2 guy right now. He's hovering at 1.56, and it's not like he's throwing like Chase Anderson innings. Like, he's throwing pretty consistently. He's even, for me, I would say interchangeable with Kenley in that top third.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers don't lie. It's weird. I feel more confident watching Kenley, but at the same time, you look at Weissert.
You also got to consider the situations they're in. Weissert comes in like the 5th and 6th a lot. Kenley's high leverage, but we're splitting hairs here. The bullpen's really good. The fact that Kenley, who's not having his greatest season ever, but is still pretty solid. The fact that we're discussing whether he's in the top half or the bottom half, or maybe somewhere in the middle, which is probably the answer of the bullpen.
Yeah.
I know it bodes well. I like this bullpen. I know it faltered tonight, but man, if there's a lot of complaints about this team, that is not one of them.
All right. And another guy who deserves a shout out, because in the end, like, yes, this conversation is where does Kenley rank? And in the end, I agree, Sammy. I think it's somewhere in the middle. But it's not because Kenley's been fine. It wasn't there tonight. But another guy who deserves a shout out here, and I'm gonna do the math on these stats in my head as we go, but Cam Boozer, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 2/3. In his last 10 and 2/3 innings, he has allowed 1 run. He has walked 1 batter. He has allowed 4 hits. He's struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah,
Cam Boozer, he's nasty. His savant page.
Like he calm when he comes out. I don't know. There's a calming presence about Cam Boozer. Like he's been there, done that. Like this isn't going to rattle him.
Which is funny because he like totally hasn't. But like when he's out there, you wouldn't know you wouldn't know it.
Yeah. No, I mean like in life. Like he's gone through tougher shit than pitching an inning. Like
Yeah.
he can handle being on the
pitching
mound.
a 5th inning on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, some pressure, whatever. Oh, hey, before we move on from game 2, we got to give a shout out. I know we mentioned it, but we should go back, talk about Zach Kelly's outing. To me, that was his best major league.
Game 2. The game 2.
Game 2. Yeah, that's where we're on game 2 still, right? We haven't moved.
I don't know.
We're kind of this whole series.
We're everywhere. This series sucked. I feel like in the games, in the series that they win, we go like game by game and reminisce. In the series that they lose, we just.
I was just gonna say that. But Zach Kelly stranding the ghost runner. He stranded 1 of 2 ghost runners, only allowed 1 to score, and then no earned runs over 2 innings. And he was walking the tightrope in some situation. Not totally his fault either. So holy shit, our guy Zach Kelly, that was nasty in game 2. That was my player of the game for game 2.
The shit was crazy, man. Because I cannot even begin to imagine how hard it would be as a reliever, regardless of whether you're tied or if you're up by 1, to come into the game with the man on second, no outs, understanding that if the run scores, people are going to look at you like you blew the game.
Right.
Even though, like, literally it could be ground out to second and a sac fly and then an out. And you've gotten your 3 outs on 3 straight batters, but the run has scored. And it's like you've all of a sudden not done your job. But Kelly comes in there in the 10th, goes 1, 2, 3 inning with 2 Ks. And then in the 11th, would have gotten through it without that run scoring, if not for the Cedon Rafaela error. And props to him for getting out of it without any further damage, which allowed the Red Sox to then tie and later win the game. Zach Kelly, awesome. Brendan Bernardino comes in the next inning and doesn't let the run in.
Not even close. Yeah.
Like,
by the way, Zach Kelly in the 9th inning, or the first ghost runner he got out, 10th inning, he's fired up. He's going nuts coming off the mound. That's a lot of adrenaline. Sits down, and then the Red Sox just lay an egg. And then he comes back and he does it again. Adrenaline dump and then going back out there. Not easy.
Yeah, especially I feel like as a reliever, like if you're a starter, you're just used to keeping your cool. You leave, you come back, you know you're going to come back, you know what's coming. Whereas a reliever, I feel like these guys, for the most part, it's 1 inning. And you see the emotion when they come off the mound, whether it be excitement, relief, frustration, they let it out. Yeah, and that's why I feel like a lot of these guys don't come back the same guy. But it's been impressive. Not all of them, but a lot of these guys like Kelly and Bernardino, I mean, they're the ones we're giving the shout outs here. But those 2 specifically coming back out are really, really good at maintaining whatever they have in that first inning. I really feel confident in those guys going multi.
Yeah, me too. And an absolute masterclass by Cora managing the bullpen that game and the lineup. But one more bullpen thing, Pat.
Yeah, and Gordo, you kind of alluded to it, but the Sox next off day is the 23rd. It's a week from the day we're recording, so 6 days from drop day. You're gonna have to manage the bullpen. How you've been managing it, prolonged over a week. So if it was a little funky this series, I'm really curious to see how it's going to go over the next 6 days, because you're going to be playing the same game up until you do get that off day.
Yeah, and it's interesting because right now, with Winkowski down in AAA, with Criswell in the rotation, there are guys that they're having go multiple innings, but there's no guy who you feel confident in leverage spots to go like 3 innings, like in that Garrett Whitlock former bullpen role where the starter would go 4 or 5 innings and then you'd have Whitlock take you the rest of the way to whoever the closer at the time is. You don't really have that guy right now. And it's going to be interesting, Pat, like you said, to see them get through these next couple of series, especially when Whitlock gets activated, because it sounds as though because Tanner Houck in game 3 threw 110 pitches, that they're going to give him an extra day, temporarily go to a 6-man rotation, which shortens the bullpen even more. No off days. They're going to be asking a lot of these guys. I'm trying to think. I mean, you're going to have to ask something of Chase Anderson. And I know that he's been pitching a little bit, but I'm talking about like one of these games. I mean, you better hope the Red Sox win or lose by like 8 runs in one of these games, because you're going to need like a 4-inning Chase Anderson effort.
Oh, yeah.
One of these games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but we just got to hope that he is in the form of human victory cigar and not human white flag when he does give us those 4 innings that we need.
Yeah. Speaking of returns, one thing that came out today on MLB.com from our pal Ian Brown is that Triston Casas hopes to be back on June 21st. So I thought it would be a good time to maybe have a check-in on the first base discussion. When I first noted that I wanted to talk first base on the show, it was after game 1, in which Dom Smith was particularly not good. I know in game 2 he had, what was it? Was it a 2-out RBI double, I believe, in game 2? Do I have that right? 4th inning, Dom Smith, big 2-out, 2 RBI double to put the Sox up 2-1. And Garrett Cooper had a big 2 RBI double today. But overall, the first base production has not been very good. I know there's been some chit chat about Nico Cavadas, whose surface numbers in AAA look really good. Sammy, I see you shaking your head, so I think I'll let you deliver the explanation as to why, as to the anti-Nico Cavadas argument. But basically right now, you have to eat a month plus of games, at least, until Triston Casas is eligible to come back. Your options at first base are Garrett Cooper, Dom Smith at the big league level. You could call up Bobby Dahlbeck. You could add Nico Cavadas to the 40-man and call him up. Those are your 4 options. Romy Gonzalez, I guess, is playing some first base. I guess he's an option. I'm curious. I'll let you guys. Sammy, I'll cue to you first, because you were shaking your head at the Nico Cavadas thing, and then Pat, I'll ask you your thoughts there. But first base, where would you go with this moving forward for a month?
Where would I go with it moving forward? I would just stick with what they got right now. I don't think Cavadas is going to give you more than Dom Smith. Question for you guys. How old do you think Nico Cavadas is?
Oh, he's got to be.
I'd guess 20.
Notre Dame. I want to say 19 is upper class. I'm going to go 27.
He turns 26 this year. So this isn't a prospect that you think is going to change too much. He strikes out a boatload in AAA right now. Is the power great? Absolutely. This guy hits friggin' tanks. I like him. I think he could maybe be a major leaguer someday. But if you bring this kid up instead of Dom Smith, you have to play him a lot. Because if he's not getting every day at bats, there's almost no shot that he's going to be hitting major league pitching. So not only are you calling him up, getting rid of Dom Smith, you're dedicating a lot of play time to him, which takes away from Garrett Cooper, who looks like he's starting to get going. And Cooper, let's not forget, he can hit. I know he has had a bad start with the Red Sox, but he's been a mid-700s OPS kind of guy for a while now. Made one All-Star team too. Was in a home run derby for absolutely no reason. But yeah. So basically, I don't think Cavadas is going to give you anything better than Garrett Cooper or Dom Smith or Romy Gonzalez for that matter. So I just don't see it happening. I think he gets every day at bats in AAA where he's doing well. He just needs to cut down on the strikeouts kind of a lot. So, and I think it's fastballs. He can't either fastballs or breaking ball. I can't remember, but he absolutely cannot hit. I think it's breaking balls. Can't hit
both. It's both, dude. It's okay. So it's not fastballs. It's fastballs at major league velocity. His home runs are all coming on fastballs at 92 miles an hour or less.
Right. That's the stats.
And he can't hit a breaking ball. And the other issue here is if you're going to add Nico Cavadas, you then have to add him to the 40-man, which means that roster spot, that 40-man roster spot is then set in stone unless you're going to DFA the guy, which I know Nico Cavadas is not necessarily like the future of the Red Sox, but he's not a guy that you want to just add to the roster in DFA because he'll get claimed.
Right. That's Dom Smith. Dom Smith is that kind of guy.
Right. Dom Smith's the guy you can DFA. He's a dime a dozen. And I'm sure that whenever Triston Casas is ready, that will be the end of the Dom Smith era. But I think I tend to agree just because there's a lot of underlying numbers here that say that Nico Cavadas is no slam dunk. And so now not only have you, in all likelihood, DFA Dom Smith to make it happen, you now have Nico Cavadas on the roster with, I would say, the significant likelihood that he's going to struggle just as much as these guys. I don't know. Pat, where are you at on this?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you absolutely have to ride with Dom Smith and Garrett Cooper until Triston Casas is back. My stance on Nico is, I mean, I really don't look too much into AAA numbers. I mean, we see it with Bobby Dahlbeck every 2 weeks. But in the same vein, do you guys remember Matt Adams played for the Cardinals?
Oh, I was such a fan, dude.
That's exactly who he reminds me of. Just a giant body with a bunch of raw power.
Dude, they just look exactly alike. He's like a carbon copy of Matt Adams.
Yes, like just a ton of raw power from being a big man, but no true bat to ball skills. Like he's one of those guys that will as long as he plays baseball, hit 30, 40 home runs in AAA. But once he has the challenge of major league pitching, I don't see him adjusting. And especially not now where look at it.
Did you know that they made him play against the Savannah Bananas when he was like in an independent ball team? So he had to play banana ball.
Same with
really?
Canzone, right? Canzone on the Mariners. Pretty sure he played banana ball too.
There was another too. Oh, it's going to kill me. But yeah, Matt Adams, man. He lost a bunch of weight at one point. He did. But no, Pat, you bring up a really good point. Is if for all of the people who are campaigning for Nico Cavadas, and this isn't to like slander Cavadas, like seems by all accounts to be like a great dude. But look no further than Bobby Dahlbeck and Emmanuel Valdez and the numbers that they put up in AAA, both this year and last year, and then look at the numbers they've put up in the bigs. And now ask yourself, is that worthy of a 40-man roster spot that you're going to be committed to for the next, in all likelihood, at least year plus 2 years to give him that shot? Is it really worth it?
Yeah,
Do you really trust the AAA numbers that much? If I've learned anything, it's don't trust AAA surface numbers with non-top prospects.
No, and honestly, if you bring up Cavadas now, it probably decreases the chances of him having a career with the Red Sox because it has to go well this time, or he's cooked. Real quick before we move on from him, I feel bad. I don't want to bash the guy. We all like him as a prospect. We just don't think he's great. He's I think a 30 grade first baseman, so he's not a good defender at first. In fact, he's below average, so not even average. And he has a 20 grade run. He is the slowest kind of baseball player you will ever see. So he's really, what's he adding? I complain about Yoshida adding only a hit tool. What would this guy be adding? I just don't think it's enough right now, unfortunately.
All right, last question on this for you guys really quick. Would you continue to platoon Dom and Cooper, or would you just give it to, I'll assume Cooper because he's been better. Not by a ton, but he has been better. Would you just give Cooper all the reps, or would you continue to platoon it?
I would platoon because I think Cora's really good at playing the matchups. And when you're platooning, you got more flexibility overall. So I don't think it's a big difference either way, but I would continue to platoon, get the guys action each way.
Pat?
Yeah, I think I'm with Sammy. I think what happens, you run the risk of, if you give it full time to Cooper and he starts to really like shit it, then you have to put Dom back in. He could be a week without swings or consistent swings. And then you're in the conundrum of neither of these guys are playing well. Where if you're platooning them, On and off, on and off. They're both getting looks, so on and so forth. I would stick with the platoon. If I had to pick one, I'm with you, Gordo. I'd pick Garrett Cooper, but I think for now, platooning's still smart.
Yeah, no, and I'm with you guys. I would still platoon it too. I wish I could give the majority of at bats to Cooper, and maybe I would give Cooper some games against right-handed pitching. I do think that there's a time and a place for a righty-righty matchup as opposed to just always being in the lane of chasing lefty-righty and righty-lefty matchups. An example of that was in the third game. I'm trying to pull up the situation here. It was the 6th inning of game 3. The Red Sox had 2 on and 2 out, and the Rays were up 4-3. So perfect opportunity to score a run, tie the game. An extra base hit puts you on top. And the Rays had a right-handed pitcher in the game, and the Red Sox let David Hamilton hit there. Personally, I would have rather seen several of the right-handed bats they had available on the bench hit instead of David Hamilton there. Hamilton ended up grounding out, I believe, to the pitcher. Either way, it was a soft ground out. Those are the situations where I would not be blind to the platoon. Is that I want them to chase platoons to start games, but I don't want them to be blind to it later in games. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of it's tough to say. Just use a platoon when it makes sense. But that's kind of what you're saying. Like, use them to start a game, but don't be married to them, I guess.
That's married to it. That's what I was looking for. Don't be married to it.
There you
I
go.
know that the numbers are the numbers, but there's no way that you can tell me that you have a better chance with David Hamilton against a righty than Romy Gonzalez the day after he delivers a walk-off and his confidence is sky high. I'm not sure if Garrett Cooper was in this game.
By the way, Gordo, before you say this, Cooper actually hits right-handed pitching better than Dom Smith does over their entire careers. It's a 750. What is it for Garrett Cooper? For Garrett Cooper, he has a 751 OPS compared to 721 for Dom Smith. So comparable, but I don't know. For the people who want Cooper to play every day, there's your argument.
Cooper was not available in this third game, but Romy Gonzalez was. So I'll stick to that. Go give me Romy. But yeah,
I mean, Cooper has the face of a child, but the body of a large adult male.
Yeah, and the nickname of a child too. Koopaloop. That's all. I mean, all I could say at the game today when he hit that double, 2 RBI double. Koopaloop. It sounds
Gordo,
like
game 4 today. Was it? Didn't look to Danny Tanner out there.
What?
It didn't look to Danny Tanner out there at Fenway.
Oh God,
Joe, kick him out. Joe, kick him out right now. Kick him out.
Yeah, can we? Yeah, thank you, Pat. What does he mean by that?
Full house, full
house.
capacity at Fenway.
Oh no, he's right. Oh my God. Yeah, we should. Oh my God, it was bad. I look around at the start of the game, and Fenway, it was not half full.
It wasn't what?
No, I'm not saying it. It was not. It was not full house.
Okay, that works.
Fuck,
So
wait, that's what it's from? Shit, I forgot. I thought it was from...
Was that an accident?
That was an accident. I thought Danny Tanner was like a Breaking Bad thing. No, that's Full House.
Oh my
shit.
God, Gordo.
I am still trying to watch Breaking Bad. I've never seen it. It's on my list.
Oh my, okay, no comment. Move on. You and your pride.
Listen, guys, I'm uncultured.
What,
Pat? What do you want? What do you want, Pat? Say it.
You've never seen Breaking Bad?
No.
Have you ever seen? Wait. Have you ever seen Full House?
No.
To be honest, I haven't seen Breaking Bad either, but I have seen Full House.
I have not seen Full House either.
Oh, that is sad.
Name a couple other shows. Give me some other shows.
You've seen Curb, so that's good.
I've seen Curb.
Friends.
I've seen Friends.
The Office.
Okay, I've seen The Office. Okay, maybe I'm better than I've seen South Park.
The Sopranos.
No, but that's on my list too. I'm really excited to watch that.
I can't watch Sopranos. It's too much New York, New Jersey.
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights I watched at the very beginning of COVID. Loved it.
Friday Night Lights is great. Blue Mountain State.
Great show.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
That show, Blue Mountain State, is so bad, but I've watched every episode.
Oh, same. Yeah.
I'm watching it. I'm like, this show sucks. It's not funny. I'll watch another episode though.
No, dude, it's funny as hell. What are you talking about?
Bad.
That's
Bad is the best. Oh,
The
Gordo,
best-
Entourage.
Backup quarterback is the best position because you get all the girls.
Pat's upset that I've never seen Entourage.
Me neither.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
for
you
two.
guys are fucking killing
You know what
me.
I've never seen? Star Wars.
I've never seen Star Wars either.
We've gone over this. I'm not gonna.
Movies, I'm really bad. If you ask me like popular movies, well over 50% chance I haven't seen it.
If you ask me any movie, there's over a 95% chance I've seen it.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to get to here. Vaughn Grissom. That's what I
Yep.
want to get to. He's on the team. Happy to have him back and really hopeful about him as a player, but he has struggled, and I think we should probably discuss what has been going on with him. I'm going to read Alex Cora's quotes, and then we can kind of just I don't know what if there is action to take or if you just keep him out there, but we'll get your guys' takes. But this is Alex Cora on Vaughn Grissom and his early offensive struggles. He was ready to go, and then he got sick. He lost 14 pounds. So physically, he's not even close to where he should be. But understanding that he needs to play, we're going to put him out there. It's not easy. This is the big leagues. I know people make a big deal out of 0 for 10, but this kid didn't have spring training. He had 20 games of rehab. He got sick.
Yeah.
So
that's it. That's for me. Okay.
You're not worried. You're not worried at all.
The kid is 23 years old. He's had 37 major league at-bats this year. And you just said missed spring training, which is huge, as we've seen with Trevor Story. Really messes you up when you miss spring training. Then he got sick, lost, do you say 14 pounds?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
14 pounds. Pat, if a client came to you and was like, I lost 14 pounds in a week, you'd probably be like, how did you lose it?
That's actually that's a red flag. You immediately refer out to the emergency room or their primary care.
Yeah, that's nuts. And then on top of that, you're just throwing him into a new team, a new market, like
the major leagues. It's not just a new team. This guy was in the minors all of last year. He did not play very much Major League Baseball either last year or the year before.
He hasn't played half a season of Major League Baseball in his career. I think if people, not you guys, but if anyone's worried about Vaughn Grissom, pump the brakes. Do we know who
Sammy?
he is yet? No, but like chill.
1 to 10. 1 to 10. How worried are you about Vaughn Grissom?
5. I'm right in the middle. I can't. We haven't seen nearly enough to make a judgment. Anyone who's making a judgment on this guy now, like it just chill, have a gummy and lay down, relax.
Pat, how worried are you about Vaughn Grissom? 1 to 10.
So before I give you my rating, I'm gonna read out some stats for you. Vaughn Grissom, 2019 to the minors, 288 average, 2021, 319 average, 22, 324 average, 23, 330 average. Sorry, 2022 in Atlanta, 291 average. 23 in Atlanta, 280. In the minors this year with Boston, 333. This guy hits. He's played 9 major league games. I'm not concerned at all. I'm more concerned with his defense than I am his bat. And I'll go with a 4.
Wow, you guys are more worried than me. I'm at a 1. I'm literally so unbothered.
Man,
I'm so
I believe
unbothered.
I'm the most worried. I was trying to be all like, no, I'm not worried. And you guys are both like, no, we're less worried.
So unbothered by Vaughn Grissom struggling. I like hearing him talk about how in spring training when he got there, the bat felt like a toothpick. And now I forget what he compared it to, but I think he said it's like a log or something. I don't know. Yeah, he's lost 14 pounds. I said this when he got hurt. I was like, he's going to go through the Trevor Story. He literally is going through the Trevor Story thing. Doesn't have a spring training, gets sick. And now he's like learning a new position and it's a new city. And it's the same thing. It does not mean that he's never going to hit. It doesn't mean that he's never going to play a really good second base. We'll see about the second base. But the one thing I'm confident in is that he is going to hit. But you're going to have to give him time. It's major league pitching. He's learning major league life. It's not just that he's learning Boston. He's learning major league life. And he's been sick. He lost a bunch of weight. He doesn't feel like himself. He even said it when he had that awesome, what was it, a 3-run double or a 2-run double that should have been a grand slam a couple series back.
Twins,
and he said, if I didn't lose all that weight, that thing's out. Give him time. He's a guy that you're not going to like. It's going to be frustrating. He's going to be one of those guys where you look at the end of season stats and they're not very good, but then it's like you take out the first month. It's going to be like Casas last year. Take out the first month and now tell me, like, we'll look at his like July onward stats, and it's going to be good. I'm confident in him.
I'm not quite there where I think he's going to hit. If I had to guess, I'd say yes, I think he will. I'm just totally in the camp of I'm comfortable saying I'm not sure what this kid is going to be. I like the prospect of him. I like what I've seen so far in the minors and what Atlanta had said about him, how they moved him to left field just to get him into the lineup at the major league level. But yeah, man, I can't. I think the thing that pet peeves me out the most is snap judgments in baseball. When people are like, this guy is this, and that's final. I've seen 37 games of him. I'm sure of it. I can't stand that shit. So I'm glad we're all in the same boat of kind of we'll see with Vaughn Grissom.
Yeah, I like Vaughn. He's kind of he's very chill, very interesting dude. Just interesting enough to make it work.
The defense is more of a concern for me than the offense.
Has he? And I know it doesn't look pretty, but has he actually made an error yet? I don't think he has.
No,
because to me, I'd have to look into the range, but to me, watching him, the biggest concern is the throw. But he hasn't actually made a mistake yet, and it's been a long enough time where I'm willing to just, at least for now, it's kind of like when Kenley Jansen didn't look good, but he had an ERA in the ones. It's like, okay, like I'm willing to look the other way because you have an ERA in the ones, even though you're throwing 88.
But with Kenley, it was like, this guy's a Hall of Fame closer. He'll figure it out. With Vaughn Grissom,
he's a Hall of Fame second baseman.
Dude, all we heard all off season was like, yo, can this guy throw the ball 30 feet comfortably? Like and we've talked about this before. He looked good on the double play. Like when he's got to turn it and he doesn't have a second to think, kind of like Devers, when they don't think, good defender. But when it's a slow play and it builds and they have a second, that's when it looks a little ugly. And like you said, he hasn't messed up yet. Knock on wood. Listen, that's me knocking on wood.
Yeah. It just doesn't look natural yet. Like you can tell it's very like herky jerky.
He guides it.
Like it'll come, but right now it's very herky jerky. It's not natural. It's almost like he's throwing a dart sometimes. It's very strange, but he hasn't made an error yet, so you can't really fault him too much.
Call me crazy. Does it look like it's a little bit more natural than it was a week and a half ago, or is it just me getting used to watching him throw? I feel like it looks better.
I don't know. Maybe
not all the way better.
We might be getting used to it, like you said.
Yeah,
I'll have to go watch. I'll go look at some. Actually, I don't know how I'm going to find that footage. I don't know.
You got to ask Lou when we go on the field. Every time we ask Lou something on the field, he like straightens out the questions we have, and he's like, "Nope, this is truth." We're like, okay.
Yeah, I love talking baseball with Lou. Talking baseball with Lou is fantastic.
He just goes and goes. It's awesome. He's like
talking baseball with Lou is like his walk the dog videos, but you get to interact.
So true. Yo, what would happen if a swarm of killer bees attacked Lou Merloni? I think he'd just stand there like,
yeah, he wouldn't care. He'd just be like,
whatever, sting me.
You can't hurt me.
You're just bees.
It's a bee. It's a fucking bee.
Oh, Pat, you missed this. Lou got attacked by a bee on the field the other day, and he couldn't care less. He was like, whatever.
It literally sat. It sat on a strand of his hair for like 40 seconds while Sammy and I cowered like babies. And he was like, it's a fucking bee. And it just sat there. And then he finally just like flicked it off.
Yeah. I don't lose a different animal.
All right. Can we Houck was solid.
Houck was good. Criswell struggled today.
Jaron Duran had a great series.
Jaron Duran he's been hot. He had an insane game today. Certainly, maybe the best. I don't know. I don't want to say best game of his career because he's had some crazy games, but he hit 4 balls over 100 miles an hour in the 4th game of the series, including a game-tying home run and 2 really big doubles. You know who didn't have a very good series because he didn't play much?
Tyler O'Neill.
No, not a Red Sox player.
Shane McClanahan.
No, this guy did play more than Shane McClanahan.
Matt Gardner.
Johnny fucking DeLuca.
Johnny DeLuca. Yeah, he went 1 for 4 in
God.
the series. He did get in the game late for defense today. He would have hit in the 10th if the Sox could have tied it. I was at the game. I was trying to get his attention. He wouldn't turn around.
He's gonna do something next series. Red Sox play the Rays next week in Tampa in the Trop. Johnny DeLuca at the Trop is my sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah, some shit. We are not out of the woods with this guy yet. I promise.
Watch him get traded to the Red Sox someday, and we find out he's like the greatest guy ever, and we love the guy, and we're like, oh yeah.
I have to look this back up. I'm pretty sure he was like a 25th round pick in the draft.
Rays.
But it wasn't by the Rays. He was in the Glasnow trade.
That's even more Rays. Someone else takes a 25th rounder, and they're like, yeah, that guy. We want him.
Okay, so Johnny DeLuca was drafted in the 39th round of the draft, but then went to college and then got drafted in the 25th round. So yeah, now he is the part of the return for Tyler Glasnow and the main character in our nightmares because we know it's coming.
Yeah, it's ominous. He's the most ominous player in the league.
Don't you dare think that just because the series ended without a big Johnny DeLuca moment that you're out of the woods with Johnny DeLuca. I promise you, there's 3 series to go. He's coming.
He should be on the Red Sox. His name's Johnny DeLuca. He could live in Eastie. He would go to Revere every weekend for New Deal fruit and get a sandwich the size of his head, and he'd eat the whole thing on the beach. Johnny DeLuca.
You know who should get Johnny DeLuca?
The Sox.
No, it's not the Sox. You know who should get him?
I think I know where you're going with this.
Where am I going?
Is it the St. Louis Cardinals?
It is. I was going to say Heim should get him when he takes over for the Cardinals next
Gordo,
year.
can you just give us all the stats on the Cardinals?
Yeah,
I've got him ready, man.
Go nuts. I'm going to put my mic down and just enjoy.
This Cardinals team, record-wise, they're bad, but when you look at the players, they are an absolute disaster. So this is the team. Chaim Bloom is now an advisor with this team. I believe he still lives in Newton or Brookline or something, but he's an advisor to the Cardinals. He is my candidate, my pick to take over this team when they fire everybody after this season. They are 18-25. They did just take 2 out of 3 from the Angels, but lost the finale, had a day off on Thursday, so they will be well rested. While the Red Sox bullpen will not be well rested. But the pitching matchups here, game 1, Brian Bayo versus Kyle Gibson. Brian Bayo has a 3.13 ERA, coming off a 5-inning, 2 earned run, 1 strikeout outing on a limited pitch count versus the Nationals. I believe he threw 68 pitches. Kyle Gibson has a 3.67 ERA. He's coming off a 5-inning, 2 earned run, 7 strikeout outing versus the Milwaukee Brewers. Pretty good. He was one of their bigger free agent acquisitions this offseason. So we'll see on that first game. Game 2, Cutter Crawford versus Miles Michaelis. You know him, you love him. Cutter Crawford has a 2.24 ERA coming off of 6 innings, 4 earned runs, 6 strikeouts versus the Tampa Bay Rays. Miles Michaelis, 6.19 ERA. However, he is coming off 6 innings of 3 earned run ball and 3 strikeouts versus the Brewers. So pretty good there too, though he has stunk out loud this season. Third game of the series is Nick Pivetta versus, I believe it's going to be Matthew Liberatore. Am I pronouncing Liberatore?
Liberatore.
Like the zodiac sign Libra, and then a tour.
Yeah.
Liberatore.
Former big time prospect.
What was that trade? That was
I have it in the notes.
Okay, it was Liberatore from Tampa to the Rosarina. No.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Sox.
Yes. So Nick Pivetta, 3.48 ERA, coming off 5 2/3 innings of 2 earned run ball and 8 strikeouts versus the Rays. Was really good to see him throw the ball that well. Matthew Liberatore has a 4.56. Only 2 of his 15 appearances this year are starts. As a starter, he has thrown 7 innings and allowed 5 runs, but his last start was 3 1/3 and 4 runs, 1 strikeout only versus the Angels. He had a 2.76 ERA after May 1st, but now it's up to 4.56. Was infamously traded by the Rays in a deal that netted them Randy Arozarena, who, if you look up pictures of him and Adolis Garcia in St. Louis Cardinals gear, they look wildly different than the swagtastic individuals they look like today. Going on to the hitters, these guys are all names you know, but they all suck. Paul Goldschmidt this year, he's hitting 206 with a 591 OPS. Nolan Arenado hitting 258 with a 683 OPS. Lars Nootbaar hitting 206 with a 675 OPS. Nolan Gorman hitting 191 with a 640 OPS. Brendan Donovan hitting 227 with a 678 OPS. Mason Wynn, one of their top prospects, at 281, 710 OPS. Wilson Contreras was the one player playing well this year. Guess what? Broke his arm on a JD Martinez backswing. Tommy Edman, one of their better players, on the 60-day injured list. Wrist surgery. Hasn't played a game this year. Top prospect, Jordan Walker, one of the top 5 prospects in the game last year. Consensus. Can't miss guy. Sent down to AAA after hitting 155 with a 497 OPS. So you will not, in all likelihood, be seeing Jordan Walker. In the last 7, they have a guy I've never heard of named Alec Burleson, who's hitting 368 with an 1105 OPS, and Nolan Gorman is hitting 333 with an 1100 OPS. But they're big boys. I know Goldschmidt is not in that 0 for 30, whatever he was in. He was in some crazy 0 for slump, but he is still, in his last 7 days, hitting 259 with a 791 OPS. Arenado, in his last 7 days, is hitting 087 with a 304 OPS. So, the Cardinals suck. The Sox have a pitching staff that is, I don't want to say decimated because it's not decimated. It's just been used. They're not fresh. Series predictions, boys. Last series, we all predicted 3 out of 4. Joe, I'm going to need you to come in here and deliver the scoreboard update on the series predictions. But yeah, none of us have a point coming from last series.
Yes, everyone got an offer, and in the standings, we have Sammy still in the lead with 7. Pat has 4, and Gordo has 2.
I can't get it right for my life. Ugh. Okay. Sammy, what do you got? All right, Pat, what do you got?
2 out of 3.
By the
Okay,
way, Red Sox sweep, by the way, to be clear.
I think
The Red
they
Sox.
win the first one. I think they win the Bayo start. I don't know what it is, but Miles Mikolas, I don't know why I see him having a good outing. And then I think they shell Liberatore. So I think they take 2 out of 3, win-loss win.
You know, it's interesting. I'm glad you didn't predict sweep, Pat, because if you did predict sweep, I would have been forced to not predict sweep because I do need to gain on you guys here. I cannot in my right mind pick the Red Sox to lose this series against the Cardinals and go against both of you guys. I am going to pick the sweep as well. So mark it down. 2 sweeps for me and Sammy. 2 out of 3 is Pat's prediction here. If they're going to have trouble with any of these guys, in my opinion, weirdly, I see it being Kyle Gibson. I see them having a little bit of trouble, but I also see the Cardinals having a ton of trouble with the Red Sox pitchers. So just because the Red Sox may not hit the Cardinals guys doesn't mean they're going to lose the game. So Sox sweep.
By the way, little thing, Cardinals off day today, so they're going to be fresh.
They're going to be fresh.
So maybe it'll be a little tougher than we think, but I mean, and they're also not as cold as you would think. They lost on Wednesday, but they won 2 out of 3 against the Angels, and then. Oh God, never mind. What am I talking about?
Yeah, I mean it's the Angels, man.
Hold on. Wait, why did I totally misread this? These guys are pretty cold. Loss, win. Yeah, they had a quick 3-game winning streak in the middle of that, but then they lost 3 out of 4 earlier. Oh God, yeah. Okay. Yeah, still sweep. Still sticking with the sweep. Also, not to give anything away for our upcoming segment, but Tyler O'Neill loves special occasions. He got a day off today. He's facing his old team. This feels like a Tyler O'Neill bounce back series to me. I don't know. Maybe not, but we'll see.
Before I kick it to Pat to kick off that segment you're hinting at, I would just like to express how fucking mad I am at myself for not foreseeing this Cardinal series. I can't pick O'Neill. I picked him within the last two. So I will be picking someone else. But Pat, what's it time for, buddy? It's been a little bit.
It is time for Crystal Bomb.
Bomb it.
Bomb it.
All right, dude. Joe, can you come back and deliver a score update here?
Well, we got two. Well, we got two crystal bombs from this past series. We had a Rafael Devers home run, which was correctly picked by Gordo, and also Thick Willie got himself on the board, which gave Sammy another point. So our standings have Gordo still in the lead with 7, Pat has 3, and Sammy coming up the rear with 2.
He's doing
wow.
I'm doing
Coming up the rear. He's coming up the rear.
Whoa. Doing what, Joe? What am I doing? All right. Anyway.
What, have you ever watched the Kentucky Derby? That's what they say.
They say
I thought you were just about to ask if I've watched.
Coming up the rear is what they say. I thought it was like holding up the. Isn't it holding up the rear like you're holding up the back?
They don't say that, Joe. There's no way.
Someone does say. I'm gonna find somewhere where it said. I'm gonna prove it to you.
All right. Well, I'm gonna continue to come up the rear for at least another week because I'm in last.
Just you need a week, just at least a week of just coming up the rear. Like
Oh, that was crazy.
I've been coming up the rear all season long. What are you talking about? A week? This is all I do.
Oh God.
All right. Can I go?
Yes.
Okay.
Sammy, you can.
I hinted at it earlier. I'm picking Tyler O'Neill. He's ice cold, but he's due. And I think this is his kind of series. He likes those occasions. He likes when he likes when the guys line up. He likes lining up on the baselines. He likes big games, big moments right away too, early on, first 3 innings. That's his sweet spot. So I'm taking Tyler O'Neill, his big, thick Canadian biceps, launching one all the way in. Oh, wait, no. I was going to say launching one all the way into Kentucky, but that's the Reds stadium, not the. Regardless, he's going to hit a ball very far for a home run, and I will be back on the board. And no longer will I be coming up the rear.
Well, unless Pat gets it right.
No, I think I'm coming up the rear next episode regardless because I'm behind by 2, right?
No, you're behind by 1. You said
You're down by 1.
So if I get one right and Pat misses.
You come in my rear.
Come up. Okay. Pat.
Pat, you can
Someone
pick.
else go.
Pat, pick.
All right.
I'm not getting in between you guys. Pat, you go ahead.
2 out of 3 starters are right-handed. I'm due. I haven't got one right, I think since Ref Snyder in Pittsburgh, maybe. I'm going with Thick Willie. Swinging a hot bat, 2 righties on the mound. I like it. I'm going Thick Willie.
Yeah, I don't hate that pick at all, Pat. I thought about picking that one myself, and to be honest, I would have picked O'Neill if I could. I wouldn't have even cared about doubling up with you, Sammy. I would have just done it because that might be the most guaranteed pick of the series. The guy is obsessed with hitting home runs in like semi-important moments. I don't know. We got to figure out his postseason numbers if he has any. But if his opening day numbers are indicative of anything, he's going deep. But I can't pick him. So you know what I'm picking, and I'm kind of pissed off that he hit a homer this series. Or in the last game. It looks like I'm just kind of like tailing it. But I'd noted to pick Jarren Duran as my crystal bomb pick before that. So just so you all know, that didn't have any impact. He's going deep again. He has 2 homers this year. He's going to get a 3rd. He's on fire. I feel like going on the road to St. Louis against righties. 2 righties that Liberator is a lefty, but I don't know how long he's going to stay in that game. Give me Jarren Duran going deep in this series, maybe off Miles Michaelis in game 2. But so, okay, just to recap, it's Sammy taking O'Neill, Pat with Thick Willie, Gordo with Duran.
Gordo, Tyler O'Neill's postseason numbers, he's 0 for 5.
So he didn't hit a home run in the first at-bat of the postseason?
Is he a choke artist? Are we going to start that? No, I'm just kidding. Nah, he didn't. He 5 plate appearances, 4 at-bats, excuse me. He did work a walk, so he does have a 200 OBP. He has been on base in the postseason, which is more than you could say about
a lot of Red Sox.
Adam Dunn has never been on base in the postseason.
That's surprising.
Really?
How'd you rattle that off?
I just watched a video about how he had a really good career but never played a postseason game.
How many Red Sox players in today's lineup have never been on base in the postseason? I bet Reese has never been on base in the postseason. I bet Dom Smith has never been on in the postseason. Who played
a lot of the guys.
Grissom may have been on base in the postseason.
Maybe.
Who can never know?
Maybe.
I know he had a postseason at bat because I think he struck out to end the Braves postseason run against the Phillies a couple years ago.
You want me to check? I'll check.
And then you go on the outfield.
Yoshida's never been on base. Rafaela's never been on base. Duran has never been on base. Abreu's never been on base.
Refsnyder has to have been. Had to have been.
Ooh, I don't know, man.
Between the Yankees.
But did he play?
Vaughn Grissom has not been on base in the postseason. He has had 4 at-bats.
What about Refsnyder?
I'm trying to pull up Refsnyder right now. Refsnyder has not been on base in the postseason. Wow. He did get in 1 game, but he went 0 for 3. So who has been on base in the postseason from the lineup?
Definitely Cooper.
Just Devers. Oh my God! Wait, hold on. You say definitely Cooper, but he played on some bad teams, dude.
Yeah, he played on some tough Marlins teams. He was on the Yankees too.
He has a home run. He has a home run in the postseason. Bro.
Oh God!
Garrett
all right,
Cooper is
but
hitting.
this guy is
167 is his batting average. 100. So that's a ball player right there.
That is 167 points higher than a lot of these guys. But yeah, so if the Red Sox make the playoffs, Devers and Garrett Cooper, put him right in the middle of that order. And Tyler O'Neill, because he's been on base.
Oh, he sure has.
Sure has. All right, Sammy, what's it time for? It sounds like it's about that time. What time is it?
We saw a lot of losing this week from the Sox, but in this segment, there's no losers, only winners. It's guys being dudes.
Ooh, cha.
All right, so this week we're picking a player who has played for the Boston Red Sox and the St. Louis Browns / Cardinals. I'm not sure if the Browns turned directly into the Cardinals. It might have been a different team, but who wants to go first?
Pat, you want it?
I'll take it. I feel as though we would be remiss to not mention indirect friend of the program, Joe Kelly.
Hell yeah.
I almost went John Lackey because he was traded for Joe Kelly, but I'm going to skip the pussyfooting and I'm going to go straight for Joe Kelly.
Yeah. We had to have somebody even if nobody picked Joe Kelly, we would have had to mention Joe Kelly because he's an indirect friend of the program. He's a friend of Bradfo, so he's kind of, friend of ours, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is a double guys being dudes move because of the Lackey connection, and then also Alan Craig. So
hell yeah, Alan Craig.
Maybe you just got the triple headshot. Nice job.
I was so excited about that trade when it happened because I'm especially at that point, I was so just ready to just the Red Sox were just so clearly not going anywhere with the guys that they had at that point. It was time to move on. Lackey didn't want to be there anymore. And I was excited about that trade. It was basically, I remember the names that I'd heard at the time as well were Randall Grichuk and Steven Piscotty. And maybe those guys would have been better to get than Alan Craig, but Alan Craig was not too far removed from a ridiculous season or two in St. Louis. And Joe Kelly showed tons of promise at the time as a starter and started a World Series game against the Red Sox. So it was like you're getting those guys in the door. It was exciting. Pat?
Fun little tidbit about that trade. That trade only came to fruition. It was only possible because of that wacky clause they had in John Lackey's contract, where if he got Tommy John, they could add an extra year for $500,000.
Yeah,
So
that was a wild clause.
Great clause. They got way more in return because it would have been a rental, but instead they got half a season and then a full year. John Lackey at $500K, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he had a pretty good 2015 for them.
No, you're right.
He was
he did
right around 4, sub 4.
And then when he went to the Cubs, he had a crazy good year for the Cubs. And then he just retired. He had 1 year that was like kind of fine after the crazy year. Are you looking at the Cubs year?
John Lackey in 2015, well on a $500,000 salary, led the National League in starts with 33 with a 2.77 ERA.
142 ERA plus. What the hell? I did not remember that at all.
218 innings.
That's sick.
But we got Joe Kelly, so we won.
Yeah,
Joe Kelly, World Series champ. Alan Craig, not a World Series champ, but we had a good time with him.
All right, Gordo, who do you got?
I am going with my first favorite free agent signing that very much did not pan out. But I'm going with him because I was so excited at the time as a kid. Edgar Renteria.
Oh.
Ooh.
Edgar Renteria, a tail, makes the last out of the 04 World Series. Grounds out to Keith Folk. And then immediately that offseason signs a 4-year, $40 million deal with the Red Sox to be the shortstop to replace Nomar Garciaparra. Proceeds to lead the league in errors with 30.
Ooh.
30 errors. 26 was the next highest in baseball. He had 30. He only made it 1 year into that contract. Somehow the Red Sox were able to trade him for big-time prospect Andy Marte. May he rest in peace. But he was later traded for... Can either of you guys tell me who Andy Marte was traded for? Red
What
Sox. I want to say it was before 06.
JD Drew?
Not JD Drew. That was a free agent signing.
Oh, right.
That would have been...
I'm so bad at these.
Loretta was a free agent signing.
Tell us.
I'll give you another hint. He was a recent mention on guys being dudes in a series within the last 4 or 5 series.
Bartolo Colon. I don't know.
You want it?
Yeah.
Coco Crisp. Coco Crisp.
Oh.
Wow.
I never would have gotten that.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I've got two Renteria tidbits. One, when you said Renteria, I was like, what jersey number is he? And I thought he was number 3. And then I looked and it said he's number 16, but he also wore number 3. He wore 2 numbers, and I'm pretty sure it was in the same year. Double checking on that.
It was.
Oh yeah, 1 season. Yeah.
And trivia question here. Can you name who he traded with that year?
David Wells.
Yes, very good. He wanted to change numbers because he was doing so shitty. He thought if he changed the number, changed it back to what he wore in St. Louis, that he would reverse his luck. I don't know what his splits before and after were, but I'm sure it wasn't that good.
And then my second thing, you guys know what country Edgar Renteria is from? You don't hear this too much in Major League Baseball.
Curacao?
No.
I don't know. Tell me.
He's from Barranquilla, Colombia.
Oh, yeah, you don't.
Not too many guys out of Colombia. It's not like the most unusual thing ever, but, a fun little tidbit on Edgar Renteria, who had an amazing career, just not with the Red Sox. By the way, totally should have retired after that season with the Giants, 2010, when he won, and he was sick in the World, or not. I don't know if he was sick, but he was very clutch in the World Series, and it would have been awesome because rookie year wins the World Series with the Marlins, and then his final year wins the World Series with the Giants. But he stuck around for 1 more year.
Sammy, if you're on his reference page, did he win the World Series MVP that year?
No,
No.
he never won he's a 5-time All-Star, has 2 rings, 3-time Silver Slugger, 2 Gold Gloves, which Red Sox fans probably think is strange, but he has 2 Gold Gloves. Oh, no. He did win. What is this? Willie May. Yeah, Willie Mays. Is this the same thing? The Willie Mays World Series MVP? Yeah.
Sammy,
okay.
Yeah.
2010, right? Yeah, so he did.
did you just retweet
No,
Kristaps
he didn't win it
Porzingis?
though. Didn't Levon Hernandez win MVP?
No, we're talking about the Giants one.
Oh, okay. I think with the Marlins
Yeah.
one. My
He
bad.
did. He won World Series MVP. Why did I forget that?
That's
But
fucking crazy.
so that would have been sick. He had a huge role when he was a rookie. What was that? 96?
7.
97.
No, 97. His 20-year-old season. So actually, I'm wrong because whatever. Anyway, he should have retired after winning the World Series MVP. It would have been a good way to go out.
Yeah, and so Edgar Renteria, after the Red Sox traded him to the Braves, like I said, he made 30 errors with the Red Sox. The next year, he did play the full season. He made 13 errors. Reduced from 30 to 13. That's just a guy who was not built for Boston. Even though he had lots of moments he had lots of good moments in big spots. There we go. Found my wording.
All right. I got a weird one. We love to talk about 2021. Fun season. Didn't win the World Series, but got to the ALCS. You boys remember Taylor Motter?
I sure do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was electric for the Red Sox. Why don't you take a wild guess what his OPS was with the Red Sox?
How many games did he even play? I remember he started a game that I went to, and
3.
I remember he played 3. This particular game that I went to that he started, I remember it was when the Red Sox were just decimated by COVID, and they called up a guy who I had never heard of to start and another guy who I had never heard of to come out of the bullpen. And those guys, Cutter Crawford making his major league debut and John Schreiber coming out of the bullpen. Crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Taylor Motter was on that team. I don't know. What was his OPS?
Let me give you the Taylor Motter stats. All right. Excuse me. 3 games, 7 plate appearances, 2 hits. 1 was a double. 1 was a triple. He also walked once, hit .333 for a 1,262 OPS and a 226 OPS plus. How do you get rid of that guy? He's got the sickest hair ever. He looks like he's in a biker gang, or he got kicked out of a biker gang because he was hitting too many doubles. And one of the best 3-day players you'll ever see. And then he quickly went to the Reds, lasted 2 games. Last year, played for the Cardinals. Not very good. I don't think he's in the league anymore.
What you're saying is that his Red Sox career was a poor man's Johnny DeLuca.
It was what Johnny DeLuca wishes he could do.
Oh, so you're saying he's a rich man's Johnny DeLuca?
Can Johnny DeLuca slug .833?
I think he can.
He
Against the
probably
Red
would.
Sox in the postseason, I guarantee you he would slug 800.
Yeah, those are chump numbers for Johnny DeLuca. What am I saying? But yeah, Taylor Motter, I thought that's the spirit of this segment. Random guys that you may have forgotten about. So that's my guy.
All right, fellas. Is it time for some Nuff Said? I'll go first just because mine is something that I already brought up, but I have to bring it up again. Fuck Max Strus. Fuck him, fuck him, fuck him, fuck him, fuck him. And fuck him again. I hate that guy. I hate him. Last year when he was on the Heat and they bounced the Celtics, he posted a celebratory Instagram post about winning the Eastern Conference Finals. And at the very end of the reel of pictures, had a screenshot of a tweet of when the Celtics waived him when he was an undrafted free agent that the Celtics gave a 2-year contract to and still paid him. They were really good to him, but he's very salty about it for some reason. He loves to throw shade at the Celtics. He walked into Game 5 at TD Garden wearing a Florida Panthers jersey, despite the fact that he no longer plays in Florida. He plays for Cleveland. He is a baby back bitch. I'm glad he's going to Cancun. Fuck him. Enjoy the offseason. you little bitch.
Max, oh, there he is in his Florida Panthers.
Just want to punch him in the face, man.
I don't really give a shit about Max Strus. He's nothing. We as in Boston fans, have clearly won this war. Look how deep in his head all things Boston is. And then he gets eliminated by the Celtics. So, yeah, he's in Cancun. The Celtics are going to beat either the Knicks or the Pacers. Doesn't really matter. And, yeah.
One more thing on him. He, on his Instagram, a bunch of Celtics fans were commenting on all his pictures about like enjoy Cancun and all that shit. He turned off the comments because he can't handle the heat. He's a softie. He puts on a fake tough face, but actually he's a little bitch.
Yeah, I mean, and he thinks he could have had a career in Boston where if you like do one thing wrong, just the criticism rains down from the heavens like no other. No way. And by the way, he's a decent player. He doesn't need to be doing that shit. So, fuck him.
All right, who wants next?
Sam, you want to go?
Yeah, Joe, can you pull this up? So, interesting situation happened on, what was that? Thursday? Was that yesterday?
Yeah, Thursday.
So the Patriots tweeted a teaser about their schedule, and it had a bunch of their 1960s gear in it. So I wrote, what did I say? I said full-time red uniforms, question mark, smiley face. And I need your help. Okay, I don't know what this is. The Patriots took a screenshot of my tweet and put it in that meme with the girl smiling at the house burning down. But she's wearing a Patriots beanie that says go. So are they saying like, yeah, keep going, like keep asking for these, they're coming? Or are they dunking on me and being like, of course you idiots are going to say this. You're wrong. This is not what we're teasing. We're the Patriots.
Sammy, I'll tell you what they're saying. They're saying go burn to the ground.
They want me to burn to the ground?
Yes. They're telling you to go burn to the ground.
For why?
I don't know. Maybe they don't want to wear Reds full time. I don't know. Pat?
Everybody in the world wants them to wear the red uniforms full time.
So, Sammy, I'm assuming that tweet is in response to the cup.
No, they posted an image of when they did this schedule release, they had this long movie. And it was a screenshot from the movie. Is that what you're talking about?
So I think they tweeted that as a teaser. And then you thought they were teasing the full-time Reds.
I didn't think that. I just saw it and was like, oh, this is another opportunity for me to.
Well, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, Sammy. You got dunked on.
I'll take it, dude. That was wild, man. So I work from home, so I'm like typing away on a spreadsheet, and Gordo calls me, and then I get like 15 text messages, and my Instagram messages, and then I thought something bad had happened.
Yes, it was this.
There's a picture. Dude, I thought like someone died or something. And then I see like the Patriots just did a funny tweet on my face.
Sammy, when I saw that, I saw it organically. I didn't see it because people like tagged you or tagged me or tagged Play Tessie. I literally was scrolling through Instagram and I saw it and I almost near passed out. I like sprinted out of the gym and was, gotta call Sammy. Oh my God. I wanted to be like, Sammy, check this, check it.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I still don't really get it. Like, I guess they're dunking, but I'll take it. It was pretty sweet to see a screenshot.
Your plea for the full-time Reds has been seen by Pat Patriot himself.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what else is, even if they are dunking, everyone should agree with me. The current uniforms stink. They're so boring. It's like you took the Brady era uniforms and suck the life out of them. And you have these bland, trashy uniforms.
I would be so fine going back to the mid 2000s up until I would totally fine with those jerseys too.
The Brady era ones?
Yeah, I would be totally fine with those.
They should bring back the silvers.
I think you can't go back. I think you got to leave it with Brady.
I thought it was cool that they changed it after Brady left because it was, now we'll forever associate those with Brady. I would like, if I could choose actually, the 90s ones. The blue with the Patriot
on the Yeah.
Gorgeous. But the Reds would be sick too.
Pat, you got enough said?
Yeah, I do. So I've been back in Massachusetts for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days. There is nothing like it.
Hell yeah.
Connecticut is like Massachusetts Junior, which like I get, like it's New England, whatever. Dude, like game days walking around. Like I went out to a bar the other night, seeing every single person there in some form of Sox, Celtics, Bruins, Patriots, like gear. Everyone tuned into the game. Nothing like it. Connecticut, fucking Bills, Rangers, Mets, Jets, Giants. Like it's just all over the place.
Yeah, that's nasty. I remember, Pat, when I moved back to Boston from California, and it was like the first time I was getting a football Sunday and everyone was wearing Patriots gear. It was just so refreshing. Like,
there's nothing like it.
We're back.
Yeah, you feel if you leave and then come back, I feel like if you grew up in Massachusetts and you have to leave for a period of time to appreciate how special the community here is, especially as it pertains to the sports teams. But yeah, I went to college in DC for 4 years, and every time I would come back for like a school break or like when I returned for good, you get reminded of what you're missing. I had to live here after. I could not live in Massachusetts.
Yeah, and then like the other thing too is like if you really think about it, I've been in school for 7 years. Every time you come home for a typical college break, it's never one of the major sports playoff seasons. It's regular season. So you get a taste of it. But right now, it's like we're hitting a peak right now. We got Bruins, Celtics, Patriots for now. And then we got like Sox hitting summer baseball. Like it's like that perfect like crescendo. It's awesome. I love it.
Thank you. That was on the tip of my tongue. I was like, please say crescendo. That's such a good word. Crescendo.
Sammy, did you retweet Porzingis like 20 minutes ago?
Yeah, I normally check Twitter once in a while we're recording in case there's anything breaking, and I saw that and was like, nice.
You're just like, fuck yeah. Porzingis loves Horford. Retweet, baby.
My Latvian brother. Kativiet.
He's like, let's go. Anything else before we wrap this baby up?
Joe,
you're muted.
Dang me.
There you go.
I would like to add a little something because I don't think any of you guys got this during the games, but please analyze the Triston Casas yoga bobblehead. You can see precisely painted toenails and fingertips. Got the grass, the shades. Please analyze what you must.
Credit to the Red Sox. That's a sick giveaway. And that's so niche and funny. I always complain about Major League Baseball in general, not necessarily the Red Sox, but not doing a good job marketing their players. That's funny. So credit to them. Whoever came up with that. Wait, turn it. Can you turn? So he's facing it. Okay. Jesus.
Sammy,
Okay.
what are you looking for, Sammy?
I just want to make sure the whole thing was painted. Wow.
Are you looking? I thought you were looking for the rear again.
Like it's good. It's good. I think they did a great job with that.
It's cool with the because like that turf it actually is turf. It's not ceramic. That's like it feels like turf. Can I tell you guys what I did for this?
Right
The Bruins were on the night of this giveaway, but I had to have the bobblehead. So me and my buddy bought a ticket, got the bobblehead right when the gates opened, chilled in a Fenway Park seat for an hour, left before the game, watched the Bruins and the Sox on the double TV back at my place. Had to get it though.
Even Derek White had to go and get it. You saw him on the Nesting Cast just like playing around with it.
Yeah, I want to know how he got it. Like who was like, oh, Derek White's here. We got to make sure he gets a bobblehead. I want to know who made that call.
Why are you so shocked? But he probably just got one like everyone else.
It wasn't the bobblehead night. It was 2 nights later.
Yeah, but they probably had they have 1 million of them left over. You've seen the.
No, they definitely do.
That's how I got one.
But it's like who I want to know who decided we got to make sure this guy gets a bobblehead. Because there's no way Derek White was like, get me one of those bobbleheads. There's no
I'm
way
sure
he can
they
get one.
have. I'm sure they have a ton of extras, and they were like, "Hey, Jemai, we're gonna give him a bobblehead when you do your interview with him. Ask him about it." That's
Yeah,
my
maybe
guess.
Jansen. Yeah, that's a good
That's
call.
a good guess.
Media guy.
Yeah.
But yes, one of the top giveaways of the year so far.
Yeah, it will be the best giveaway they have this year. A
Whoa,
must have.
whoa. Lest we forget
That's true. You can't top the fanny pack.
the fanny pack. I actually wore it, so I had to go to the natural medicine store, and I wore this, and I had my wallet and everything in it, and it was great. Nothing in my pockets, clunking around, like, safe. I didn't wear it like a fanny pack and put it over my shoulder. Still great.
Yeah. Wait, quick
It looks-
nugget. You know how surprised I was? I leave the podcast for what, 3-4 episodes. I opened Twitter one day, and all of a sudden, Sammy's cut off 75% of his hair, and he's rocking fanny packs.
Oh yeah, I
You know
became
what that felt like?
I
I feel
became
like I missed years of this podcast. I had no idea what was going on.
I became a middle-aged woman overnight.
The beauty of these fanny packs, Sammy, if you could hold it up in front of the camera, they really do look like dog beds.
Is it
Like,
a
this is
plush outside? Is it like a fur?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the same. It's like like a dog bed, like
Yeah,
Gordo.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
nice.
I can see. Yeah.
But yeah, shout out. Well, yeah, okay. So fanny pack number 1, Casas bobblehead number 2.
And this is not
Big
counting the not counting the giveaways you got to like buy a special ticket for. The only weird thing about this is why is it tan?
Yeah, odd.
Little strange.
Tan
Neutral
sucks.
color goes with everything, maybe.
Goes
True.
with everything. Style Pat. Also, shout out Isak Paredes. May have drove in the go-ahead run tonight, but he also tossed a baseball to your boy off a Garrett Cooper strikeout. So shout out to Isak. Appreciate you, bro. Anything else before we wrap this up?
Nothing.
Garrett Whitlock had a rehab start. He should be back soon.
Yeah, excited for Whit. I'm excited to see him back. But that'll do it for episode 73, the Mike Shawarren episode, the official Red Sox podcast of WEI. Before you leave, before you check out whatever else, before you go to our social pages, check out what we got there. Remember, hit that subscribe button, whether you're on Apple, Spotify, or the Odyssey app. Hit the subscribe button and rate us 5 stars. Tell us which Red Sox giveaway you like the most or are looking forward to the most if it hasn't come out yet. On YouTube, we are on the WEI page. We've got our own playlist, so make sure to check out our videos, subscribe to WEI, rate us 5 stars there, leave comments. Again, with the giveaways, we'd love to hear from you guys. Follow us on the socials at PlayTessie on both Twitter and Instagram. We continue to churn out awesome content there, both in video picture format, clips from the podcast, videos of us doing interviews with players, both of the present and future of the Red Sox. But that'll do it, man. For Sammy and for Pat, for Joe in the back, it's Gordo here for Play Tessie, episode 73. Thank you guys for tuning in. Till next time after the Cardinal series this weekend, toodaloo.